The free immunos, this is one that I've been taking for quite a long time, and I have noticed a lot of really good benefits as far as like energy goes, even specifically in like the afternoon. Like people get the afternoon crash. I find when I'm taking free immunos, I don't really feel that at all.
Hello and welcome to Truehope Cast, the official podcast of Truehope Canada, where we explore the psychological and physiological foundations of true mental wellness. I'm your host, Simon Brazier, and today we have a special in-person episode recorded live on beautiful Salt Spring Island in British Columbia. Joining us is holistic nutritionist Brittany Sharpe, who works at Salt Spring Pharmacy. In this short but powerful conversation, Brittany shares her personal and professional experience using Truehope products, not just in her clinical practice, but in her own life with her family and within her community. We talk about what she's observed on the ground, how nutritional support can change the trajectory of mental health, and why whole person care matters now more than ever. If you're curious about how integrative pharmacy and targeted micronutrition come together in real-world settings, this episode is for you. Enjoy the show. Hi there, so I am on Salt Spring Island at Salt Spring Pharmacy, and we're going to be talking to Brittany Sharpe today. She's the holistic nutrition on staff. We're going to talk about how Truehope products are affecting her community. Okay, so we're here with Brittany from Salt Spring Pharmacy here on this beautiful island. And Brittany, first question for you. For people who haven't visited Salt Spring Pharmacy just yet, and it's such a special spot, but what makes it that special spot for natural health here on the island?
That is a good question. I would say what makes us stand out the most compared to other pharmacies or even just being a unique Salt Spring Pharmacy is that we really give that like one-on-one support. So when you go into other pharmacies, like, you know, for example, like London Drugs or Shoppers, it's just, it's quite busy. There's not really a lot of supplementation options there, and you don't really get that like one-on-one support. And so here we really like help people like with their individual case and kind of like help them get to the bottom of things. It's also just like a really peaceful, serene setting here because we're right on the water. And yeah, I would say that's kind of what sets us apart.
Yeah, I mean, we were just talking before we were going to shoot this, the fact that you walk in here, it's got a very warm, very different feel to than like a traditional pharmacy.
Yeah.
And you're on the water, you've got the apothecary here, you've got this like beautiful, like natural health green essence color going on as well. Very different.
For sure, definitely. And a lot of people that come in here, like, as soon as they walk in, they're like, oh, it's really nice in here. Like, it feels different. Like, we get people saying that all the time. And that's, like, certainly why I work here, too, because it's just a nice, calming, very healing environment for sure. So,
and I can't remember the last time I was in London Drugs and they had these comfortable seats that you could sit on in the corner of the room.
It is helpful, especially for a lot of, like, our older patients that come in. It's just, it's nice to have the comfort for sure.
Okay, how long have you been familiar with Truehope products and what really stood out for you first for the brand?
So I've been familiar with Truehope for about, maybe like 4 years. I was first introduced to them in 2022 through a best friend, and she was going on about how they're really good for depression specifically. She was sharing that. And at the time, I had a family member that was going through depression, so I was like, I gotta learn about these products and just like find out more about them. I have a counselor on island and she's amazing. She works with tons of different people here. And she also really got me onto Truehope too, because she's like a huge proponent of them. So I think between one of my besties and my counselor, like they kind of just, So that was how I first found out about them. Yeah.
And it must be the stories and the energy and the emotion that you have because, you know, you're trusting a friend there with like which brands to use and there's so many of them out there.
Totally, yeah.
And that component of being able to trust a brand, trust a friend, like there must be an important thing when it comes to choosing, you know, from one brand out of 1,000.
Totally, 100%. I feel like, when you have that connection, it makes it a lot easier to like trust in something and feel good about what you're taking. So
okay, so here we in Salt Spring Pharmacy, you carry the Framinos, the inositol, the EMP, the iodine, and the OLE.
Yeah.
Out of these products, which one do you find yourself recommending the most, and why?
That's a really good question. I do find myself turning to the OLE quite frequently here. So for whatever reason at the pharmacy, we do get a lot of like urinary tract stuff. Maybe it is just because we are a pharmacy and people come to a pharmacy for UTI, but I find that I'm constantly coming to the OLE for that. Also for heart health for some of our older patients here. And then like for candida as well, for candida overgrowth, there's quite a few people that have come in for that as well. So yeah, it just like I didn't realize that it was going to be one that I was going to so often, but it just has turned out to be like that. And then of course like the EMP has been my go-to for like recommending a really good multivitamin. And then, Free Minos pairs really well with that. But for sure, the OLE has kind of been a surprising one that we've really used a lot here. So
yeah, it's a surprising product. I mean,
Yeah.
the Allorapian, the key ingredient in the olive leaf extract, it can support so many different people with
Yeah.
so many different things. You say like we introduced it specifically to like support people who did have candida and gut issues
Yeah.
who want absorbing the nutrients as best as they possibly could from like the Empower
Right.
Plus and the Framinos.
Yeah.
And as you say, like as an anti-inflammatory, antiviral,
Yeah.
antibacterial, like it can just support so many people in so many different
Totally.
ways. And it's
Yeah.
just like one ingredient, it's pure, it's
Yeah.
clean, and it's ancient, and it works.
Yeah, for sure. I'm with you.
What kind of feedback have you had from customers in regards to Empower Plus, especially around mood, focus, and for overall mental well-being?
That's a good question. So because I actually haven't been at the pharmacy super long, I've only been here for about 3.5 months now. But as soon as I started working here, I, told the team we need to carry Truehope and we need to bring them in, and they were on board with that. So I've sold a lot of it, but I haven't gotten like solid feedback yet. But I know like a lot of the patients I've recommended it to are planning to give me feedback. And then also just like the other people on island that I know are taking it are giving me really solid feedback as well that are close to me. So I'm excited to hear what our patients are going to be feeling from it and really looking forward to that. And yeah, also just trusting from other colleagues and people on island that are using it and feeling really good benefits from it. So
Amazing. I can
Yeah.
almost guarantee you're going to have those stories of people coming in.
For sure.
Because
Yeah.
you could look at Empower Plus, you can look at the back and the ingredients and think, okay, this
Yeah.
is just another multivitamin. But
Totally.
the minerals, especially in regards to the way that
Yeah.
they're putting specific combinations,
Yeah.
bioavailable, micronized for 4 days.
Yeah.
It's so absorbable.
For sure.
And they can support people so quickly to just
Totally.
like take care of those key mineral nutrient deficiencies.
Yeah.
And that just like allows people to just
Yeah.
feel amazing really quickly.
Yeah, I always feel really good when people go for it. And then I'm like, please let me know how it goes. And I'm excited to hear from them for sure.
And
So.
because you just like have this like smallish island, small community.
Totally. Yeah.
I love the idea that you can go into your health food store, your natural health food store, and
Yeah.
build those relationships with
Yeah,
people.
for sure. We see a lot of regulars here, that's for sure. So
Let's talk about inositol briefly. So when
Sure.
you talk to customers about inositol, how do you usually explain the calming and balancing effects of it?
yeah, so for the inositol, I always recommend it for anxiety specifically because it's definitely helped me in the past with anxiety. And then I also share for people like that are dealing with like panic disorders or just like, having panic in the moment that they can dissolve it under their tongue just to use that right in the moment for extra support. And then as far as like just even taking it as like an everyday supplement, I talk about how it helps with hormone signaling and just making sure that all your hormones are functioning well in your body. So yeah, I kind of share both sides of the coin for it. I share about how you can take it daily, but also like if you are feeling a lot of anxiety or getting panic attacks, it's like a good, just quick go-to. So yeah.
That was a perfect answer.
Yeah.
So Salt Spring Island here, it's a very health conscious community. I feel I've been here a few times and you get that feeling.
Yeah.
How have people responded to products like nascent iodine, especially given thyroid support, and there's a big conversation about like thyroid health these days?
Yeah, I think really well. Like we have a lot of people that come into the pharmacy asking for iodine specifically. I mean, in the amount of time that I've worked here, there's been at least, I don't know, maybe like 10 people that have come up and be like, I'm interested in iodine. So we're really excited to carry the nascent iodine now so that people can start taking it and feel the benefits from it. And I do have a couple people on island that take the nascent iodine that have really good thyroid health and are just feeling the benefits from that and not having any issues and just taking it regularly. So that's been really good. So yeah, I'm excited to see what our patients feel about the iodine and just happy to have a really good source of iodine now to share with people. So
Great, yeah. And there are a few iodines out there on the market for sure, but nascent iodine, they're being pre-converted. And again, like we kicked off with the Empower Plus, and we brought out other products to help support people's ability to get the best out of that foundational nutritional multivitamin.
Right.
And nascent iodine was produced because so many people struggle with like thyroid issues.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you're looking to supplement with, let's say, a kelp-based or a seaweed-based iodine, and you have that stressed thyroid, making that conversion from that sodium iodine or potassium iodine could be a really like difficult thing for people to be able to do.
Totally.
So we have like pre-converted our nascent iodine so people can immediately uptake that and immediately use that. Therefore being way gentler on the thyroid, get that going. And, once the thyroid gets going and we've got those T3, T4 hormones going, the metabolism, the immunity aspects of all of that, people feel that pretty quick.
For sure. Yeah, it's definitely a powerful one.
So Free Minos is a pretty unique formula. What have you noticed about how customers use it for energy, stress support, recovery?
Yeah, so the Free Minos, this is one that I've been taking for quite a long time, and I have noticed a lot of really good benefits as far as like energy goes, even specifically in like the afternoon. Like people get the afternoon crash. I find when I'm taking Free Minos, I don't really feel that at all. So I do recommend it to a lot of patients that come in for energy specifically, also for like muscle recovery, like post-workout stuff as well. I'll kind of guide them in that direction. And for stress too, like a lot of, younger families or stressed out parents, if they come in, I'll recommend it to them. And then again, I like to connect the two because they work so well together. But yeah, I would say that it's really been helpful for energy. And I think that's kind of my first point, even though it helps with so many different things. So
do you have any memorable like customer stories or experiences with our olive leaf extract?
I've had some really beautiful moments in recommending it to people. Specifically, one woman I'm thinking about, she was coming in and having like reoccurring UTIs and just feeling really a little bit sad and just kind of stressed and not getting better. And then I was like, I have the perfect product for you. And I showed her the OLE and just explained everything that's in it. And she was just so happy and excited to have something that wasn't the standard UTI treatment. And so that was kind of a nice moment. I'm looking forward to seeing her again soon because that was not too long ago. So yeah, that was like a nice moment of just feeling like I actually have something that's going to help somebody. And yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing her results with that for sure.
It must be comforting as, a holistic nutritionist working here and anybody could come in with kind of any concern.
Yeah.
But to kind of really have a tool for most conditions with this line.
Yeah, for sure. It's just so nice to like have something I trust in. And I always veer to Truehope first. And yeah, people usually trust in me because I have that connection with it. So yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So from a staff perspective, what makes Truehope products easy to recommend compared to maybe other brands out there?
That's a great question. I would say for sure because it's so highly nutrient dense and the process the minerals and vitamins go through, like I always go to it first and I like to explain that to people, and it's just like full of nutrition. So it makes it a really easy one to recommend. And also my connection with the product, being on it for the last many years, like I just feel like I'm able to really in real time share my experience. And then when patients have that connection with me, they are able to trust in it. So yeah, I would say it's like two of those things. So having the connection with it and then also knowing that it's so just like bioavailable and nutrient dense, like it's just such a go-to, and it's always going to be my first go-to for like a multivitamin for the EMP, for example. So yeah.
As you've trained to be a holistic nutritionist, so I went to Pacific Rim College. I did their 3-year holistic nutrition diploma, and a massive important part of the training was like learning how to research.
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And being able to look into particular companies,
Yes.
even call them up, ask
Yeah.
them like where their
Yeah.
stuff's being produced,
Right.
etc.
Yeah.
So like how does that part of your training go into like the decisions you make every
Gotcha.
day in regards to the
Gotcha.
products you're recommending?
Yeah, for sure. That's a really good question. Yeah, so I would definitely like look on the supplements website to make sure they have like research back driven articles that are backing up the product. And that's one thing I do love about Truehope is that when you go on the website, there's like many articles about how it's helped people with ADHD and anxiety and different mental issues. And so that's been huge for sure. And yeah, it's definitely helped me to like look into different supplements to make sure they're reputable. And then also for me, there is an intuitive component of like just knowing the people that are behind the supplement, who's making them. A lot of times I get the opportunity to meet them like you. So yeah, I think it's a little bit of both, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think, before I was involved with Truehope,
Yeah.
going from, 1,000 companies you could look at, and it's actually quite quick to be able to decipher like who's doing things appropriate to like my beliefs.
Right. Yeah.
Not just with the science, but with the, the authenticity of doing things the right way, like in the
Yes.
background.
Yeah.
And then with Empower Plus, like I have conversations with people so many times that there are a lot of products on the shelf, like multi-ingredient products, lots of
Right.
multivitamins with like, multiple ingredients.
Yeah.
Empower Plus, 37 ingredients.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. But it's also, you can go on the website and look at 35 medical journals, like
Yeah.
proving its efficacy for, as you said, ADHD, anxiety, depression, bipolar disorder. And as a practitioner who's kind of gone through that training and understanding that the research
Yeah.
is so important for those
It is,
decisions,
for sure. Big time.
there aren't any other companies
No.
with that research there.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And yeah, I love that you guys really do focus on mental health, because it's like, I would say like most of the population is suffering in some aspect with like anxiety or depression or ADHD. And like, it's just so nice to have like a natural option to support somebody in that journey that actually works. So
Yeah, and a lot of the conversation we have is like, how can we help more people understand that, you're not sick, you don't have this like big disease, you're most likely deficient.
Yeah.
And let's go back to the drawing board here. Our soil, our food is not what it
Exactly.
was. You can't eat well enough to get the nutrients required. So
for sure.
let's take a foundational a product that we know that works, that can take care of that baseline.
Yeah.
And for so many people who might suffer from like headaches or gut issues or like mood imbalances, it could just be a simple fact that you're nutrient deficient in one of these specific minerals, vitamins, amino acids.
Definitely agree with you on that.
Okay, so if somebody walks into Salt Spring Pharmacy today feeling overwhelmed about where to start with supplementation, what would your advice be, and how might Truehope products fit into that first step?
I would first take them to the EMP. I think if someone's feeling overwhelmed too, I wouldn't want to like overload them with too many things at once, but I would definitely go with the EMP first. And the reason being is because it is like a high potent multivitamin. It's loaded with minerals and vitamins. And I feel like that, and just starting with that, could give that person a real boost in their overall well-being. So yeah, I feel like I would start here, and then I would eventually hope that I could add the free aminos in with the EMP as a good starting point. Yeah.
Amazing. And we don't have the BMD with K2 right here, but how do you feel that could work and support with your community?
Yeah, so as I touched on maybe a little bit earlier, we do have like quite a large population of older people coming into the pharmacy, like really sweet old people. We love them so much. And a lot of them will ask for a good calcium supplement. And we do have a couple good ones on the shelf, but we haven't really had one that's kind of like stood out to us. And I was actually talking about that amongst our team as well. And so, yeah, it'll just be really nice to have like a really high potent calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, that's right. And just something that's really high potent that I know is going to be like actually helping that older population that is really suffering with like osteoporosis or like different bone issues. And so, yeah, that's going to feel really good getting that into their hands for sure.
Amazing. Yeah, we kind of I remember being at nutrition school and getting hammered home about calcium and potassium, and that's kind of like all you hear about.
Right.
And you can go in and you can get a decent supplement of like one of those or them together. But,
Right.
you know, the way that we would consume and absorb nutrients in this like matrix of minerals together, that's how we would do it in nature. That's how we produce these products. That's how we produce BMD. Like, how would you consume these minerals together in nature to you know, support the synergistic complex that is our bones and our joints and our skin and our hair. Like, all of these things are super important to have those minerals, and that's the balance that we look to produce when we produce a product like BMD.
Yeah, I'm really excited for everyone to try it. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Brittany. That was super fun. I appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me. Awesome.
All right.